Hey YouTube, welcome back to Dwayne's World. So, it's finally time for that upgrade that I talked about. And at the same time, I'm gonna fix a problem. You wanna find out what I'm talking about? Well, you better stay tuned. All right guys, so welcome back to season 2, episode 37 here on Dwayne's World. And I'm very excited. And why? Well, take a look here. It's because of the new Alientabi backpack sprayer that I'm going to be featuring for you here on Dwayne's World. So with that, let me kind of talk to you guys about why I chose to go ahead and purchase the Alientabi. All right guys, so let me kind of talk to you guys about why I chose to purchase the Alientabi backpack sprayer in the first place. But a couple months back, I did have a problem with my Ryobi backpack sprayer. I had a leak in it, so I knew I was going to have to replace it. However, I was able to get some JB welds that's actually meant to be able to weld back plastic, and it really fixed the job. However, it just kind of got me thinking, you know what, I think it's time for an upgrade, so I started looking around. And as you guys know, there's a lot of different options when it comes to backpack sprayers, so I really kind of want to do my homework and find out which one I think would work best for me. So when looking at all the different type of backpack sprayers that are out there, I knew obviously I wanted to get a battery-powered one, and you can pick one up from a variety of manufacturers. You can find them from Ryobi and Milwaukee and DeWalt. There's the FlowZone, there's the Yard Mastery, and this Alientabi that ultimately I decided to pick up today. I think when I was doing my research, I was really leaning towards getting a FlowZone, and I thought that might be the best backpack sprayer for me. However, I'm always trying to be price conscious to really get the most out of my money. And I thought about it, and I kind of did some additional research, and I saw these Alientabi backpack sprayers on Amazon. And I kind of thought, you know what? Amazon generally has a pretty good return policy, so if I have an issue with it, I can send it back. So when I'm looking at the price was very appealing. The one I picked up was about $189. It was a $10 coupon. But not only that, you could purchase a 3 or 4 year warranty, which I decided to do. So I kind of figured, you know what, for $189 and maybe 30 bucks more to get the 4-year warranty, I probably can't go wrong. So decided to pick it up, and so far, so good. So let me go ahead and show you guys in a little more detail more about the Alientabi. All right guys, so kind of truth be told, this is not necessarily going to be a video where it's just a review of the Alientabi backpack sprayer. As I come to the other side of the table here, so the other part of the video, in addition to featuring the Alientabi backpack sprayer, is I just wanted to quickly talk about herbicides and give you guys a couple of options on things you can go with if you're battling certain weeds in the lawn. But first, let's go ahead and get back to the Alientabi. Now, one of the things you may be noticing about the Alientabi backpack sprayer is it really looks like a knockoff of the FlowZone backpack sprayer. And I won't necessarily disagree with you. However, I thought based on the price, it may be a good alternative if you didn't want to necessarily spend the money on a FlowZone backpack sprayer, but still want a good result. One of the things that really attracted me to the Alientabi backpack sprayer, in addition to the price, you get a really nice wand that comes along with the backpack sprayer. Now, although the wand is important, of course, it's going to be reflective on how well the pump works, and I'm going to get to that in just a minute. When it comes to the actual construction of the backpack sprayer, I would say it's actually pretty good. You know, I wouldn't say that necessarily it's of the highest quality plastic, but I feel like it's definitely going to be adequate for what I would need for a residential application. Now, there is a tiny bit of assembly you do have to do when you put together the backpack sprayer. The one thing you do need to do is you want to add in these brackets here. The purpose of these brackets here is to hold your wand when it's not in use. So basically, when it's not in use, you can go ahead and just place it in here, and you go ahead and just push this in, and it'll hold it in place. So it's obviously really nice about that is whenever you are storing it away, the wand is just not laying around somewhere. It actually is stowed pretty nice. The other thing that I thought about as well when it came to a backpack sprayer is how good the battery will be. Now, there is more than one version of the Alientabi backpack sprayer, and there's one you can get with a bigger battery. However, the bigger battery also has a higher flowing pump. I thought based on the PSI on the Alientabi in this model, I felt would work better for my application. So the battery that comes along with it is a 2.6 amp hour battery. And I have to be honest with you, I've already used it 2 to 3 times and have not even recharged it. So far I've gotten really good battery life out of that particular battery. However, as you guys can see, it does come with a charger. And one of the things that is nice about this particular battery, there is a battery indicator, which I'll kind of zoom in closer for you guys to see. One of the other things I really like about the Alientabi backpack sprayer is the actual shoulder straps. As you guys can see here, or may be able to see hopefully, and I'll go ahead and zoom in for a little bit of a closer view here, but they're really plush. And that's nice because whenever you're carrying around the full 4 gallons of water, it can definitely be a lot of weight that you're having to put on your shoulders and your back. So it's nice to see how much padding is actually here, because that's going to make it that much more comfortable when you're using the backpack sprayer. Take a minute here and just talk about the spray tips that come with the Alientabi backpack sprayer. One of the selling points on the Yard Mastery backpack sprayer is that it comes with all of the different tips and fan nozzles that you would need to be able to get a really good result. Now, when it comes to the actual wand itself, as you guys see here, it's kind of like a pressure washer. You have a coupler here that basically allows you to be able to switch out any individual nozzle, as you guys can see there. This particular nozzle, which is a misting nozzle that is adjustable, comes with the unit. In addition to this tip here, you also receive a 25-degree tip. And in this particular tip, I would say works probably really, really well whenever you're spraying your perimeter of your home with the pesticide, for example. Now, the other tip that actually I do not have shown here, and it's okay, is more of a straight nozzle that comes with the unit as well. So although those spray tips are included, that's not really ever going to be the nozzles that I'm using for the most part when it comes to the Alientabi backpack sprayer. The tip I'm going to use when it comes to this particular backpack sprayer is ones I picked up from Amazon. And on Amazon, basically what I did, and I'll go ahead and link everything in the description below, is I went ahead and purchased a coupler here, which basically allows you to be able to fit an adapter here so that way I can use my TeeJet nozzles. And I basically picked up two. Why? Because generally whenever I'm doing a foliar application, I'm going to go ahead and use that one right there. However, on any type of soil applications, I'm going to go ahead and use my FloodJet tip. So this now, as you can see here, this allows me to be able to use my wand with the foliar tip, or if I want to just quickly swap that out, I go ahead and use my FloodJet tip here whenever I need to do that. So I would say this is about a $20 to $30 extra investment here that you will have to make if you plan on purchasing one of these Alientabi backpack sprayers. All right, to put the battery in, it's very straightforward. There's just this cover here. You go ahead and lift that down. You can't do this wrong. The battery only goes in one way. But basically, you're going to go ahead and just snap that in there, cover it up, and you're good to go. Go ahead and demonstrate for you guys what it looks like in the actual fan spray in both the 36 psi as well as the 65 psi. I just have a little bit of water here in the backpack sprayer, so no need for any PPE at the moment. All right, guys, so one of the things I just want to talk about for just a minute here is the actual tip. Now, the backpack sprayer is very important. However, the tip is probably more important, in my opinion, than the actual backpack sprayer you're using. If you use a good quality tip here, you should get a really good result, regardless of what manufacturer you have on a backpack sprayer. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick little test pass here using some water. This is going to be the 36 psi setting. And as you guys can see here, it's a very even distribution. It's quite hot today. The water's evaporating quickly. But let me go ahead and show you guys 65 psi and what that sounds like. All right, again, so pretty even coverage. Hope you guys heard the difference between the 36 and 65 psi setting on the audio. All right, guys, so let's quickly talk about herbicides here for just a moment, because that's what I kind of want to feature in addition to the backpack sprayer here on Dwayne's World. So the weed I keep battling every single year, even though I'm diligent about pre-emergent, is Spurge. I keep having the problem, especially this time of year, where I just get this outbreak and I want to be able to take care of it today. Now, when it comes to herbicides, what's really, really important is, number one, you understand what type of grass you have, because not every herbicide is safe on every type of grass. For example, if you have a cool season lawn, the last thing you want to do is apply Celsius. She rated to kill things like rye and fescue, so if you have a rye or fescue lawn, or even Kentucky bluegrass, you absolutely do not want to use Celsius. An option that tends to work better whenever you're unsure of what type of grass you have is going with one that is safe for both warm season and cool season turf. A good option, in my opinion, if you do not want to spend a lot of money, is pick up a bottle of Spectracide, which you can find from most big box locations. Now, one of the things that I do not like about Spectracide, although it works, is the temperature restrictions. Generally, do not want to apply Spectracide when the temperatures are more than 85 degrees. Now, if you want to take it up a notch and you want something a little bit stronger than Spectracide, what you can go with, which is something like this, which is called Triad Select. Now, the difference between Triad Select is the concentration is much stronger, so it'll do a much better job. Now, regardless of what option you go with when it comes to the actual herbicide, is pick up yourself some good non-ionic surfactant. The purpose of the surfactant, as it says here, it's a spreader sticker, which basically allows it to be able to attach to the weed a lot easier. It's going to help it be able to absorb, so that way the herbicide can actually go to work. Another option you can definitely look at if you're dealing with a lot of weeds in your lawn and you need to do a blanket coverage is you may want to select one that has a hose end connector here, so that way you can cover a large amount of square footage very easily. It's the only reason why I have it here. Basically, the active ingredient in both of these are the same, but this is obviously one that is attached by a hose end sprayer. As one of these, you're going to want to go ahead and use a pump sprayer. All right, guys, so another common weed that you're going to deal with during the summertime that a lot of people battle is nut sedge. I've been very fortunate where I do not have very much nut sedge in my lawn, but if you do not want to go with Celsius, and you do not want to go with one of those other herbicides that I mentioned. What you'll want to pick up is one of two options. You're going to want to pick up Certainty. Now, Certainty works really, really good to be able to cover a lot of sedges that are out there. Or a less expensive option is you can go with Image. Now, Image also does come in a hose end sprayer, so if you have a large area that is covered in that sedge, you may want to look at that as an option. However, in either case, both of these have the same active ingredient. Now, although Certainty works extremely well, it is very, very expensive. So again, if you're looking for something that's a little more budget conscious, you're going to go ahead and pick up Image. Now, Image does work a little bit differently than Certainty or other herbicides. You do not apply a surfactant because each of these gets watered in, as where whenever you're using any other type of herbicide, you're not going to water it in. You want to wait for that herbicide to go to work and be absorbed through the foliar. So now let's kind of talk about Celsius here. Now, one of the things I do recommend anytime you're dealing with a high dollar herbicide is especially make sure you do follow the rates. It is one of the reasons why I decided to purchase a digital scale here. Although Celsius does come with a measuring cup here, I find it a lot more accurate to be able to just use a digital scale here. So that way if I need to apply 1 gram per thousand, 2 grams per thousand, or full rate, which is generally 3.2 grams per thousand when it comes to Celsius, this makes it very, very easy to do so. I'm going to go ahead and link it in the description below here so you guys can see what digital scale I decided to pick up, but it's a very inexpensive option that's really going to help out anytime you're using any type of dry herbicide such as Celsius or Certainty. Now, if your lawn is just full of weeds, the ultimate potent combo, go with Certainty, go with Celsius, combine the two, you add your surfactant. That is the winning formula if you want to tackle 95% of the weeds that are out there. Let me go ahead and show you guys a lot of the spurge that I'm dealing with here. So as you guys can see there, there's spurge, 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 spurge all throughout. I would probably say that about a third of my lawn right now, pretty much from about here over, is infested with spurge. Now, it probably is a candidate for blanket spraying. However, I'm not going to do that. And the reason why I'm not going to do it is just because of the fact that it's so hot. Now, I know Celsius does not have a temperature restriction. However, I do want to make sure that as I'm spraying it, I want to be cognizant of the temperatures. Right now, we're dealing with the temperatures anywhere from 100 to 110 degrees. And again, even though Celsius is not rated against any temperature restriction, I'd rather play it on the cool side. I'd rather play it on the safe side and ensure that I really kind of play it on. I still would rather keep it on the safe side, so that way I protect as much of the grass as I can. I want to show you the inside of the tank here. I have used this backpack sprayer already a couple times before I went ahead and put it here on Dwayne's World. But one of the things I really, really like is the pickup tube. As you guys can see there at the very, very bottom, right there, that's the pickup tube. And based on that position, it gets the majority of the actual liquid out of the tank when it actually goes empty. That's one of the things I did not like about my Ryobi backpack sprayer was the fact that a lot of times when I got closer to about a half a gallon, I was definitely running into problems. This appears to be a much better design. All right, guys, so this is what I'll be throwing in the backpack sprayer. I've actually already mixed up 1 gallon of this. I thought 1 gallon would be enough, but you know what? I kind of figured, I probably need a second gallon. I don't want to make more than that, but I think 2 gallons should do me fine. There's definitely quite a bit of spurge out there, so I want to make sure I have enough in the backpack sprayer to be able to spray out all of the spurge. So the rate I'm going to go with the Celsius is 2.4 grams per gallon of water, which will cover 1,000 square feet. I'm going to go ahead and add in some high yield spreader sticker, which is a non-ionic surfactant. Now the last thing, just because I am spot spraying, I'm going to go ahead and add in Laser's blue dye. That's going to really help me be able to know what areas I've already treated, so that way I don't over apply. So with that, let's go ahead and measure out the Celsius. All right, so as you guys can see here, I'm going to add the 2.4 grams to my backpack sprayer. So in total, I have 4.8 grams in 2 gallons of water. So on the spreader sticker here, I went ahead and measured out 1 ounce, which is going to cover the 1,000 square feet. Again, I already did the other ounce, so this is the 2nd ounce to the 2nd gallon. All right, guys, so I have all the chemicals in there. I'm going to go ahead and mix it up. So this this is the tip I'm going to go ahead and use. This is my normal TeeJet nozzle that I use for most of my foliar applications. All right, guys, so one of the things I always like to do is I like to go ahead and recirculate the actual fluid back into the backpack sprayer. And the purpose of this is not necessarily for mixing purposes, but more so when I go and do my first spray, I have the full concentration coming out of the tip. All right, guys, so I'm going to hit a couple of the areas. I just want to kind of show you guys what I'm trying not to do. One of the things I do not want to do is I do not want to over apply. And the way you would be over applying is by continuously spraying the weed over and over again. Generally, all that's needed is one pass. Now, I missed the top of it. I'll go ahead and spray that. But generally, all you want to do is do a single pass. Do not continue to spray over and over again on top of your last pass. That is the point of the blue marker dye. And to be honest with you, I kind of wish I put a little bit more marker dye just because I am still having a little bit of a hard time seeing. However, this area over here, I went ahead and sprayed, and I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera, but it's actually a different color, and it's really, really green. So I can tell where I sprayed there. Again, I got a small piece here. I'm going to go ahead and take care of that. Even along the edges here, I think you guys could probably see it on camera where I've actually sprayed. So let me go ahead and continue to spray. And kind of backing up here, I think you guys can see a couple of the bigger areas here that were definitely infested with Spurge. This is going to kind of be one of my next areas here that I want to make sure I take care of. This area here also, there seems to be quite a bit infested, so I'm going to kind of, in some ways, blanket spray. You know, I got to tell you, I've used this backpack sprayer a couple times now. I got to be honest with you, I really love the handle, you know, on this particular backpack sprayer. You know, I also love the pressure. The pressure seems to be very consistent whenever I'm spraying. I don't know if you guys can hear it or it's coming out on the video, you know, as I'm spraying, but you can hear the backpack sprayer. One of the areas I'm just going to avoid here is this is an avocado tree. And because of being a fruit-bearing tree, and we eat avocados off this tree, it's just kind of out of season right now, I do not want to throw any herbicide in there. Hopefully, I don't know if it's coming out on the camera, but you can see blue dye, or it kind of looks like green dye. But that's what I want to be able to see. I want to be able to see where I've sprayed already. So as I go around the yard, I'll know which areas I haven't treated. Definitely a lot of this area here, even though I went through it, I missed a few pieces here and there. Again, an area that I thought I got, but I missed a few of the little pieces that were in between there. Whenever I'm finding an area that has multiple pieces, I try to just do one blanket spray, and that hopefully should be able to cover everything in that area. All right, even like right here, a little bit of a patch of Spurge. I'm going to go ahead and kill it off. Guys, so I'm going to kind of do another run through over here. I may have missed a spot here or there, but as you can see, there's quite a bit of marker dye on the lawn here. The marker dye is going to go away really quick. You know, for those of you that have never used it before, don't worry. It's not going to stain the grass. It will actually wash off fairly easily. All right, guys, so I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video on the Alientabi backpack sprayer, in addition to throwing down that Celsius to be able to hopefully be able to kill off that Spurge. That Spurge needs to die. It's the one weed in my lawn that causes me a headache every single year. Now, one of the things I will say is I'm very interested to see how well the 2.4 grams per 1,000 square feet, which is the medium rate, and how well that will work against Spurge. All right, so if you want to find out the answer to that question, you better subscribe to my channel and follow the content here, because I will be posting updates in the very near future. All right, so just kind of in summing it up here, I want to thank everybody that is a subscriber. I'm very, very close to that 1,000 milestone, and it's because of you guys I continue to do these YouTube videos. And as always, be excellent and party on.